I have some takes. I wrote down 4 takes.
Let's hear them.
Ooh, okay. Foreplay presented by Barstool Sports. We're back. It's the dog days of August, summer. We got a lot to talk about. We got Olympic golf. Really took over the golf world yesterday. Scottie Scheffler with a back nine, 29, I believe, compared to Jon Rahm's 39. Rahm's emotional. Rory's emotional. Tom Kim's emotional. Scottie Scheffler was emotional. I'm getting very into the Olympics. I watched these Simone Biles documentaries. She's out there crushing it with the comebacks. There's a lot of Olympic chatter going on. We got Frankie's going to Ireland. I think Trent's jumping on a vacation. I got a lot of Bandon stuff to talk about. So we got quite a bit. It's also Wyndham Championship week, which over the last couple of years, that's become one of my favorite tournaments. I'm not going to be there this year, but the last couple of years I did go. So shout out to those guys down there. But gentlemen, that's nice to be back. Congrats to Scottie Scheffler. It continues to just roll on.
29 is so outrageous. Scottie Scheffler, yeah, man. I think he put to bed all the chatter about who's having the better year, him versus Xander. It's just an amazing, amazing feat after the year that he's had to be able to come back. He was plus 1,600 going into the final round at the Olympics, ends up winning gold, doesn't even have to go to a playoff, just fucking wins the whole thing. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable performance from Scottie. I'm so proud of him. Haven't heard a word from him. I'm tweeting at him, texting him.
When's the last time you heard from him? When's the last time you heard from Scottie Scheffler?
So when we did that video, when we did that
obstacle course
video, I bet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a long time ago.
Years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was blown away yesterday. The 62 to finish when everybody else, there were some decent rounds, but people were trying to close. You could tell how much it meant to the guys, which we're going to get into a lot of that, and where this whole thing ranks and everything. But for Scottie to do it, and, even for me, like watching these documentaries, I don't know if you guys have watched yet, of Simone Biles and her whole thing in 2020 with mental health and the pressure, and she gets the twisties and pulls out.
The yips, basically, right?
Yeah, the yips, like the gymnastics version of the yips, and like how all of that could be traced back to, it had nothing to do with gymnastics. It's all what's going on in your personal life, and the weight of the world as being the top ranked, the best gymnast of all time, and then going into the Olympics and just like kind of not being able to handle it for a lot of understandable reasons. If you just translate that to Scottie Scheffler, who it's like, man, you got to hit these shots where there's water everywhere at Le Golf National. You could find trouble everywhere. Tom Kim with a double in the 72nd hole. And yet again, in a massive, massive event where he was crying afterwards because of how much it meant to him, he goes out, doesn't really miss a shot. He's draining putts when all people have done in terms of negative stuff towards him over the last 2 years, talk about putting. He's draining putts all over the place. So we've done so many of these shows after these big events this year, but this one was just as impressive as anything else I've seen. That number's insane that he shot 29 in the back nine.
Real quick about that 72nd hole, that shot he had on 18 was in some thick rough.
Yeah.
And he had to make a par at least, right? And he hits that thing into the fat part of the middle of the green. But you give me 100 chances to hit the middle of that green from that rough with that. I mean, I don't even know what he hit. He was pretty far out. I don't think I'm hitting that green more than 50 times. I swear I don't think I am. I think that I'm less than 50% on that shot.
Yeah, and that hole, if you remember, like Rory in his match against Justin Thomas in the Ryder Cup 2018, Rory made like a 7 on that hole, and it's just
that rough is so thick.
There's chaos everywhere. Even if you go long on your second shot, it could go in the water. Short could go in the water. And yeah, to step up. I mean, I get he could control it off the tee. You could control it out of the fairway, but you're right, to control it out of the rough there in that situation, it was just awesome. It was great to hear the red, white, and blue up there over and over again. Just USA, and he's kind of representing it perfectly. He's in that. You remember when Colin Morikawa won the Open Championship, and afterwards we were like, he's too perfect with that speech that he gave. It looked like he had like hired a bunch of speech writers a week before, and that's like. Then this story's coming out about Tom Kim was emotional afterwards because of what Scottie said to him on the 72nd hole meant so much to Tom Kim. And you're just like, what is Scottie's got the baby now? His wife's perfect. Everything about Scottie.
Just haven't heard from him. Got a lot of practice.
Just can't. He's been communicate.
He's been giving speeches and talks all year.
He's treating one guy like a piece of shit right now. He's treating one guy out there like a piece of shit, and he's sitting in this room.
It is a funny funny concept to think that like Scotty is walking up like the 14th hole and he's already thinking like, all right, when I win on the 72nd hole, what should I say to Tom Kim that's going to change his entire life?
Or he's like, what is fucking Frankie Borelli going to text me that I'm not going to respond to?
Right.
I think we immediately saw the emergence of the 5th largest title in world golf yesterday. I think we got basically a 5th major that comes around every 4 years. We only care about golf tournaments and events if the players themselves care. And the Olympics, when it came back in 2016, had a very unique opportunity to occupy a space that wasn't really existing in golf at that point. Yes, there is you play for your country when you are playing for the Ryder Cup, but you don't play for your country individually, and that happens once every 2 years, and it's just a little bit different. And so the Olympics come back, and they have this opportunity to fill this void. And the first 2 years were just misses. And the first year, 2016, the PGA Championship was still in August, and so it was in the middle of major season. No one really knew kind of what the tournament meant. And then there was the Zika situation, and the top 4 guys in the world all skipped it. Then 2021, 3 years ago, it was a miss again. This one a little bit less their fault, but because of the COVID stuff, because of all the restrictions on the guys, and they couldn't go to other events, and it wasn't a proper Olympic experience, a lot of guys skipped it. This was the first year that everyone played. Every person who was qualified on points, except for Use Loyton, shout out to Use, justice for Use, played. And he tried to play. It wasn't like he didn't want to play. He just was not allowed to play. And it had a certain gravitas on Sunday. And I think a lot of it also had to do with the golf course, right? Leg Off and Ashley now, an amazing venue. Seems like all those last 3 holes all have natural amphitheaters. And so the scenes on the last 3 holes were incredible. We know that golf course from the Ryder Cup, from it hosting the French Open all these years. Combination of Paris and the golf course and everyone playing, there was just a certain buzz and playing for your country that just doesn't always exist in golf. It cut through immediately, and you could see it on the players' faces. You could see it with what Jon Rahm said afterwards. He said, I feel like I let down all of Spain. And he said, sometimes you don't really know how much a tournament means until it's over. And I think we talked about this a little bit with Rory, where you wonder if it's almost like 2 weeks after the US Open or a week after the US Open is when it would really start to set in of like, fuck, man, I had this incredible chance and I blew it. And I think Rahm had that same feeling afterwards on 18, being like, oh man, I had a chance to win a medal for Spain and I blew it. So I think this is going to be a really, really big event in golf moving forward. I think having it at a Riviera, everyone's going to play. All these guys live in the United States. It's in California. It's maybe the best golf course on the PGA Tour. Everyone's going to play. I can't remember where it is in 2032, but someone tweeted it at me and it seemed like a very, very cool place. This event has serious momentum.
This episode is presented by Chevy, that is Chevrolet, our favorites. Get the crew together, head to the course in the new 2024 Chevy Traverse. We're talking impressive cargo room, 3 rows seating, and the first ever Z71 trim. Traverse can handle your buddies and all their golf bags with ease. You love going on trips. We're just talking about it on this show, a lot on this show, to be honest with you. What a great vehicle, not just for that, but for families. You can pile everybody in. You can take people, golfing around town or to an event, whatever you need. We love the Chevy Traverse.
It's an amazing vehicle. It really, really is. I'm donning the bow tie here on my hat. It's just a great logo. Chevrolet, an American brand. The fact that they keep pumping out these new innovative types of cars and trucks and spacious vehicles is really what sells me on it, is the fact that you just don't want to be the guy that can't fit anything in his car. Hey, we're all going to this place. Can we fit in one car? Nah, sorry. My trunk space. My trunk space is so small. It's so pathetic. It's like I was in that world where I couldn't fit anything in my car, and it's like you're constantly letting people down. I wish I could, guys, but it's like I can't. I don't have a manly. I got nothing. I got a little 2-seater. No, get the Traverse. That huge infotainment system. That's all we're talking about.
17.7 inches, baby. 17.7 inches diagonal color touchscreen. Among the 3-row SUVs, it is the best in class. Traverse has elevated the tech game. That's a key takeaway. We love the space. We love all that, but having that big vehicle, it's got all that cargo space and the technology You just don't see that anywhere. Head over to Chevy.com/traverse to build your own and learn more. And just go to that link right now. Check it out. That's Chevy.com/traverse. Just look at this thing on there. Look at this iconic, innovative vehicle on there. And just remember, it's got all kinds of great technology inside. That's Chevy.com/traverse. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
I have some takes. I wrote down 4 takes.
Let's hear 'em.
Ooh. Okay.
All of the journalists who are like throwing dirt on Jon Rahm's grave are so lazy and so like they're just tearing into the red meat. I saw so many tweets yesterday that said Jon Rahm is clearly not the same player he was last year. Or he had a 4-shot lead over all the best players in the world, and a golf course was really fucking difficult, and he won his last event, and he finished top 10 in the last major. And he had 3 kids in the last, year and a half. This narrative baiting of, oh, he went to live, and he clearly hates himself and hates his decision. The arrogance on these people to think that they know what's going on in this guy's head, and like, they're just making that up. I really do think that they're just making that up. I think you're watching that and you are extrapolating one performance and saying that this guy is miserable and is not the same player that he used to be. The guy had a 4-shot lead in the Olympics. If he wins that, if he wins, and you're going to say the reason that he didn't win on the back 9 is because he's playing live golf. It's just so lazy. And I'm tired of like every single win or every single performance being through the lens of live. When Bryson wins, it's, oh my God, live was the greatest thing that ever happened to Bryson. When Rahm wins, it's, oh my God, live was the worst thing that ever happened to Rahm. It's just, I'm just so over it.
I'll put my hand up and say probably on this podcast I've said that he's miserable and that's why he's playing like shit.
I know for a fact I've said that a couple
I
times.
was gonna say I'll go ahead and wear that one if we're gonna do that.
And I thought
the evidence was. I just disagree. I don't think the reason he's playing like shit.
Well,
I think the reason he's playing like shit.
If you want to pick it apart a little bit, I think that last part might be true with the Bryson versus Jon Rahm thing.
Yeah,
like what live was better for Bryson for all the reasons that we've listed. And I think Rahm thought he was going to do something when he signed with Liv. He was going to change it. He was going to bring everything together. And I think once he got over there and kind of got a peek under the hood, he was like, oh, this is going to take way longer than I thought it was going to. So I think he is frustrated with that, and it might be affecting his play.
He wasn't like rainbows and lollipops when he was on the PGA Tour. Let's not forget, this guy was always
he was dominant
something.
At certain points.
Golf is not linear. People play well and then people don't play well, and correlation does not imply causation. And he's playing well. He's like finally playing well. You know what I mean?
That part is true.
Like he had a 4-shot lead. He was in control of the tournament. Yeah, he stumbled coming home on Sunday. That's golf. That happens. He won his last live event, which the significance of that, whatever. He was top 10 in the last major championship. Like, he has finally turned the corner and he's finally starting to play well. And now, because of 9 holes, that's when the pitchforks come out.
Well, we all own a jump to conclusions, Matt, in some sense. Like, we all just do that. But at the end of the day, when you listen to the way he speaks, even on this own podcast, how affected this guy gets about just the story around tournaments and the Masters and like walking up 18 and getting very emotional, what it means to him. When you start to really learn who Jon Rahm is, I think it's safe to assume that when he is put in a situation where things are a little bit more elevated in terms of like people are saying, oh, this might be getting to him, this might be getting to him. I do think that it's safe to assume that it might be getting to him because of what we've seen in the past of Jon Rahm. I mean, the guy has a temper. I mean, he's like, he had to get like a bomb squad guy to come in, like allow him to learn how to hit golf shots under pressure. Diffuser. I mean, a bomb diffuser. Like, at the end of the day, from all that we've learned about this guy, I think it's obviously you don't want to jump to any conclusions. He is playing good golf, and golf is not linear. It's like, at the end of the day, you can just play really poor golf for like 2 straight years. It doesn't mean that anything is happening wrong at home or whatever. It's just you're not getting the ball in the hole. I get that. But he's such a wear it on your sleeve kind of guy that when it's just the narrative has switched on him. And I know that's the media's fault, but also you could just see it on his face. Like, I don't know. There's just something about it. I've fallen victim to saying that it's changing him as well. Maybe it's just like the fake news media driving this force as they do with everything else. But it's like, I don't know. You just see it and you're like, oh, fuck, Jon Rahm feels... I feel like he would have been happier at the Players and all of these like big events that he loves and he cared about. It's just something about it. Just feels he's like a sad puppy out there.
But then he wins the live event. He starts crying and he's like so happy and everyone's like, that's fake. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and so it's like He played in he's played in the 4 majors. He's going to play in the Ryder Cup. He played for Spain. Like, I don't think that this is like some life ruiner, like everyone's making it out to be.
So take one, the call was coming from within the house. What's take number 2 going to be?
Yeah, we need another take.
Apple Maps is still hot fucking garbage, and it's incredible to me that it's still so bad.
Okay.
It is
Why?
incredible because I got a new phone after my thing, and the first one that comes downloaded is Apple Maps. Like, you don't get Google Maps. They really try to cram Apple Maps down your
other
throat.
phone got screwed by the rain at the Open Championship. Is that right?
So it was already cracked, and then I was out in the rain all day, and then it's like it seeped in and got water damaged. Yes, the phones are waterproof, but not this one. It's just and then Apple Maps told me it was going to take 27 minutes to get home. And then I put it in Google Maps, and it said 18 minutes on a completely different route. I mean, how is that possible? Okay, let's move on. We'll get to
maybe I'm a victim of that because I've never used anything other than Apple Maps. So maybe I've just been wasting time in the car.
You've wasted a good 6
Waze
hours.
Is still a thing? Is Waze the big one that a lot of people
Waze
use?
is still a thing. Gives you a totally different
Don't
route.
they all
than Apple Maps.
Don't they all use the same data?
I use Google Maps. That's different than Apple Maps, right?
Google Maps is good. Google Maps and Waze are good. Waze is owned by Google Maps.
Which one do I use?
And so
here?
Apple Maps is a totally different thing, and it's horrendous. It also doesn't have the satellite mode where you can you get one of those nice infotainment systems like they have in the Chevys, and then you can look like a really high tech car because you're driving like through the city and actually see the city. Apple Maps doesn't have that.
I will say, have you ever seen it does do the thing when it goes into like Apple Play or whatever that is on your car, and then
CarPlay.
It'll do the mode where you can't, like, if there's a little bit of a glitch on the sys, like sometimes because we rent a lot of different cars, there'll be like a glitch on the actual presentation of the car, so you can't like see it there. So you try to pull it up on your phone, but it only does it only tells you names. It doesn't tell you where you're at on the blue line, and like that's happened to me where I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get there. This is refusing to show me.
It's a horrible product.
It's giving me streets.
15 years later.
The only thing I don't like about Google Maps is when you Google something. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. When you Google an address and you try and copy that first address underneath like the Google description of where it is, and you try and send that to somebody, it's an absolute nightmare. The person can't just like click it and open up.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Has that ever happened to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have to like somehow like hold down and try and copy the address. It sends the whole thing with like all these letters. You've never done this? Like, hey, like what restaurant are you going to? And you just try and send the description of the restaurant with the address, and it sends like a million different things.
Doesn't it send like a link? Isn't it like the longest link in
link.
history that
it's the longest
it's like the
link
link
you
when
click
trying
on
to send a Google Images link. It's like, it's
insane.
Oh, it's a nightmare. Just let me copy and paste the fucking address. Oh my God, there's been times I've done that.
All right, what's take number 3?
Take number 3 is that announcer for the 100 meters race should be shot. Unceremoniously in a back alley, like Saddam shot all the Iraqi senators when he took power. That's what happened to that guy.
That was tough.
Really bad.
Talk about jumping to conclusions. That guy jumped right to a conclusion.
I couldn't believe how it all went down. Not
closest
just
race in Olympic history. I'll go ahead and say that. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's got to
and
be
it's
one
not
of them.
just be like, oh, it's a photo finish. We're gonna have to wait and see. And Lyles and him are looking up. He just goes up. Thompson's done it.
First thing he said was, Jamaica's gonna do it. Jamaica's gonna win gold. And it's like, you watch that, and if you watch it just with the human eye, which we all did, that's all we have. You can't really see. Maybe Jamaica won, maybe they didn't, but you gotta wait. You have to wait. You have to. You can't.
And then they showed
winner.
They showed the BBC one, the British, and the guy just handled it perfectly. He's like, oh, it's going to be close. Did Lyles do it? They're checking the screen. This guy, and then he got so quiet, and you could tell he didn't want to admit to the reality that he had fucked up, that when Lyles started celebrating, it took him like another 30 seconds to be like, no, Lyles is the winner. So we're like, is he celebrating
that
because
was
he
the
won
worst
silver?
announcement of all time. My question about the 100 meter is like, why is it not the toe? Why is it not just the first person to the line?
Great
they
question.
say
I wonder that as well.
Someone wrote like it's really hard to judge that. Like it's like I don't even know what that means, right? Like if it's just like first body part to the line just wins.
There's
why
no
is it
subjectiveness to that.
Why
whatsoever.
is it neck down?
I didn't understand that either.
Like is the opposition saying someone might have longer legs and like their actual body center of gravity, or they're like the center of their body's not past the line past the other one, but it's like, well, then they just win because they have longer legs. I don't know what that's like.
Or is
That's
it like
right.
if you
It's like-
could you throw your hand out as you're running and like if that crosses first,
Who cares?
I'm kind of with you. I'm not
It's just
arguing.
like
I think
first
I'm with you.
person-
That's called a race.
The first person
to
called
touch
a
the tree.
race. That's
Right.
right. There's a race, buddy. That's what that
It's
is.
always been like first person to get to this
Dude.
line wins. I don't understand why it's neck down.
I'm glad you brought this up because I keep seeing the pictures on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't think the right guy won. Like that's all
Well,
I think when
yeah,
I see
I
these
mean,
pictures.
And I get that this has been the rule, so they train to finish like stumbling and like getting your chest forward. And Lyles is the greatest in the world at it. Apparently, first of all, he was in last place after the 40-meter part. So first 40 meters, he was in dead
amazing.
last. Then it just fucking, I don't know how you turn on another gear against the fastest men in the world with just 50 meters left. You understand that? How are you gaining that much distance on the
He was
fastest men in the
visibly
world?
last. Visibly
Oh my
last.
God, visibly last.
Yeah.
So you're not taking anything away from him. He called his shot. He spoke that shit against the NBA, said that he's actually the only world champion, and he goes out and wins the Olympics. But I don't know. I don't know why it's not just like that overhead view, first toenail to hit the line wins. I don't know why that's not. It's so easy, especially with the camera angle. In horse racing, it's like the first nose, right? I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like it's not like the middle of the
Right.
torso of the
Like
fucking
the horse's
horse.
cock has to cross the
Right.
line first.
It's so crazy
It's
to me.
yeah. It's just whatever part of your body goes first before theirs over.
If you want to like run
Over.
and like dive and jump, I don't know. I mean, even in Cars, in the movie Cars, he sticks out his tongue and like that wins it. It's not the middle of his fucking car.
The iconic scene in Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights. It's
That's
his
right.
fingertip
Runs,
that's crossed
yeah.
the line.
Fingertip.
Yep, it's not torso.
Well, why is it the torso?
I don't know.
What's the reasoning?
I guess like to protect against someone like diving head first.
Why?
But
You're the
again-
first
yeah,
one
I don't know.
there.
But again, if that's
That's-
gonna get you gold, dive.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, I'm with it. I think you're right, Frankie. I think
You
that's
ran
the- I think that's the
so
real
you're
thing.
telling me the person that dove across ran so fast that they were able to actually like stop like their stride and jump and still beat people? Like you got to the part to jump faster than anyone else and then you dove
Yeah.
across the line. I don't know. It's just fucking nuts to me.
I'm with you.
Yep. All right. You got a fourth take, Dan? Or was that it?
Fourth take has been editorially rescinded.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it at 3.
Okay.
Okay. I love it.
Interesting. Did you know that you can get tickets to preseason football? Can you believe we're there already, fellas?
Whoa.
I
I
know.
can believe it. We got fantasy drafts all coming up. Schedules are starting to get made. Yeah, I'm very, very pumped up.
Yeah, we got preseason. There's the Lions are at the Giants. The 8th, that is Thursday night. Tickets are only $3 right now if you go use Game Time. Then as we get closer on the 24th, I'm looking at MetLife Stadium's got Giants games, Jets games, $23, $96, all on Game Time. They are the best. They're also the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. And finding tickets for less, that's the key. You want to find tickets, that's great, but you want to find them for less. It's never been easier. Going to events is awesome, and Game Time's the way to do it.
There's just never a time where you go to an event, you know, you see people, you feed off of energy, and you get home and you say, "Damn, I just should have stayed home. I just should have stayed home." You never forget it.
We were in New Hampshire for the Barstool Pickleball Open last weekend, and it was incredible, and we had a great time. And it ended around 5:30, and it was just in New Hampshire, like right across the border. We were about 50 minutes away from Fenway Park, and I looked at Justin Mancini and I looked at our guy Kyle Enright, and I said, "Do you guys want to go to Fenway Park tonight? Like, do you guys want to go see the Yankees play the Red Sox? Saturday night baseball under the lights." 81 degrees, with a nice breeze, just as American of a weekend night as you can possibly have. So we went on Game Time, legitimately got last minute tickets, and we were sitting right on the first base side, right kind of like behind home plate by the dugout. And we watched an amazing Yankees-Red Sox game. The final was 11-8. Yankees came back and won in extra innings. We saw 19 runs. Judge hit a home run. Soto hit a home run. It was unreal. And it was all thanks to Game Time. So, yeah, and it was literally like last-second decision. We barely made it on time, and it was amazing.
They got flash deals if you are looking for sudden discounts, zone deals if you're feeling flexible. They got lowest price guaranteed. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code FORE, FORE, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Use the code FORE for $20 off your first purchase.
I had one take that golf Twitter is a copycat league, in that as soon as one person said this is the best leaderboard of the year, I think I saw this is the best leaderboard of the year post, no joke, 15 times. So whoever started it was just like, oh, I think this is the best leaderboard I've ever seen. And then everyone was like, this is the best leaderboard we've seen all year. And it's just every Twitter account, Foreplay Pod included, just like best leaderboard of the year, best leaderboard of the year, best leaderboard of the year. It was a good leaderboard, probably because it's the Olympics and they sent over all of the good golfers. But like that makes some fucking sense, right? But like, I had that thought this week. If we're doing takes, golf Twitter is a copycat league, and it was no more evident than this last weekend.
Yeah, and it's tough on social now, even across the board. Scrolling through, there's no way to cure it, I don't think, but you just see the same exact thing over and over and over again. When you jump from Twitter over to Instagram, over to TikTok, you just see the same thing, and it's like it really affects your brain, where you're just like, fuck, like that was such a waste of time that I just went to this other app, scrolled down, you see the same version of a tweet or that, and like you're saying, our guys do it. We got to do it. That's how you get that's what's getting all the clicks. That's what's getting people going. But yeah, I thought overall Olympics was great. I'm glad that the guys are into it. It is wild that it's taken such a leap now in the golf realm from the first two to this one, where everybody was emotional. Rory said, I still think that the Ryder Cup is the best tournament that we have in our game. Pure competition. I think this has the potential to be right up there with it. I think with how much of a shit show the game of golf is right now, and you think about the two tournaments that might be the purest form of competition in our sport, we don't play for money in it. So I think that's kind of a lot of the sentiment that people were thinking about. It did kind of get you talking then, especially with somebody like Scottie, like he's won so many big events, Players, Masters, the gold medal. It's like, I don't know where exactly he would rank this. Would this be ahead of the Players' Championship in Scottie's mind? Like, would you rather win this than the Players' Championship?
I think he's won 2 Players' Championships, and it happens every year. So yeah, I think so. I think this gold medal means more than any of those individual Players' Championships. Like it definitely does. I think to the fans will remember more. Did you see, by the way? Did you see Xander's response to Rory's comments?
No.
Dude, Xander's like, him and Cantlay are close, and the whole money thing, and I think those guys really don't like Rory. That's what I'm seeing. So the question was to Xander. Rory said golf, we're in a shit show right now, but he said it's crazy how the 2 best events, including the Olympics and the Ryder Cup, you don't get any money. Do you agree with that? Xander Schauffele. He kind of bounces around with his opinion, He said that he's reverted on the topic. But yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about it, and then he goes into an answer.
Yeah. No, Xander doesn't like Rory.
No, a little spicy.
Xander and Cantlay are kind of on one side, and I think it seems like that was a shot.
They've got some mean text messages to each other about Rory McIlroy in their history.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get a load of this guy.
Right. Like sending the link to that quote, he's sending that to Cantlay being like, look at this fucking guy. He's doing it again.
Bunch of eye roll emojis.
Yes.
Right. They've probably texted the video of him missing the putts at Pinehurst to each other like 100 times. Just like, hey, need to pick me up this morning, pal. And they just send that to each other. Yeah, we like that, a little spice there. That's Ryder Cup. That really gives you even more context to the Cantlay Rory hatless match last year with Joey LaCava and all that. Like those guys really just despise each other, which is obviously great. But yeah, I do. I think the Olympics, it was awesome. It really stood up. I think I do always think like you get a little bit caught up in the tournament that you're at. Like it's, like we see guys have quotes after certain events of like, this is the best, this is the one I want to win outside of a major. Like you get caught up in tournaments. We've got caught up in tournaments. Like when you go there, even like when we go to like the Zurich Classic might be about as boring overall as a tournament. It's like the courses that it's at. But when you're there, you're like, oh, this is great. This means a lot to the community. Everybody's going out and having nice dinners and people get caught up. And then when they win that event, it's huge. I thought this one translated well, even on TV. You could just sense it. You could sense that it meant so much to them. It meant so much to the viewers. It means a lot to the country. So I thought it just delivered more than I expected. If you went back last week for us talking about it, I don't think we were as excited as it actually ended up delivering and being and meaning to everybody. So yeah, it was great. And every 4 years. So it's like there's only been 3 guys in the modern time that have won an Olympic gold medal in golf. So it's like you're just not going to get that option very much. So I will say the top, like, I don't know that Rory's saying it's like the 2 events that mean the most. Like, I don't think anybody would rather win the Olympic gold medal than the Masters. Right?
That's right.
No.
Not
So
yet.
it's right. Not yet. It's right there.
Having it end with a guy crying on the podium, that's good for the Olympic golf scene.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah, that's big.
You know what I mean? Like, a big part of this, of it gaining momentum, is past winners is a big deal. And 4 years from now, 40 years from now, they'll look at Scottie Scheffler's win and be like, remember, he went on that crazy run, and the cherry on top was the gold medal. I think it's important to have a guy like Scottie winning the gold.
If Tiger grew up winning gold medals and stuff,
Right.
It would have just been the greatest thing to achieve. It's all about who wins it. It's all about the pedigree, the history, and all of that. So yeah, we're at the beginning stages of it, which is pretty cool. Like, we're watching the growth of Olympic golf, and hopefully we're all around to see like it become this huge
leaderboard
event where
the leaderboard made a huge difference. I think, like, if it was another one like last
leaderboard
year
of the
or
year.
last Olympics where it was Xander, where it was Xander, Sabatini, and CT Pan, I don't think it would have hit the same. But you had Rory there, you had Tommy there, you had the Tom Kim situation, which was just like a great little side plot, because also, like, this was a thing last year with or last time with Sung Jae and Siwoo Kim, but both of those guys, like, at the time, Siwoo Kim, by the way, his English has gotten so much better. I have so much respect for that. But him and Sung Jae at the time, like, didn't really speak English. They weren't doing interviews. Tom Kim, I think everyone, because of the Netflix show, because of how just like lovable and kind of like doughy he is, I think everyone views him as this like really nice, great kid who, like, how could this guy go to the military? So I think it just added a little bit more.
I called him cute, and they're like, "Don't call him man cute. He's so. He's cute as hell."
Totally.
The military service thing.
Adorable.
The military service thing is tough. Like, and did I read that he's got till he's 28 to medal and get out of it?
He's got another Olympics, and so the Asian Games, and this got swept under the rug, but the Asian Games opened themselves to professionals for the first time for golfers last year, and then Siwoo and Sung Jae played in the team competition and dusted everybody. So if that continues to be open to pros, he'll have other chances, but there are talks that was a one-time thing. So it's more that just, it's not over yet. It's still there.
Far be it for me to tell the South Korean government how to operate, but I feel like Tom Kim's a better ambassador in the world of golf and for the country of South Korea than he is having to do his military or mandatory military service. I get that that's very much a thing in that country, but I've never understood that part of it, where people love Tom Kim. Frankie thinks he's cute. Dan thinks he's doughy. He's on Netflix. People love him. And then he's just going to go away for 2 years. I think I would say, like, him being out there, being like proud of his heritage and having the flag and being like, this is where I'm from. But again, I'm not going to tell the South Korean government what to do.
What happened with CT Pan and Sunjae Im? Like, did they have to go?
No.
Who did?
So
was it Ishikawa?
Last October, they got out of it. Sang Moon Bae and Sung Yil No both had to go, and Sang Moon Bae's career was essentially ruined. He played in the President's Cup in 2017.
That's who I was thinking of, yeah.
And then he had to leave right after. So the President's Cup was the last event that he played in before he went to do his military service. He left and he like never got back. And he gave a quote where he's like, "I can still swing it, but I forgot how to play golf. I don't have the feel for playing golf anymore."
Fuck, I remember that.
I think over there, like, the military service is taken unbelievably seriously, and it's this prideful thing. And I like, to the point where if people get caught trying to like skip it, I think they'd put you on national TV until you cry, and they like shame you to death, because it's a very different whole ordeal.
I mean,
over there.
BTS is doing it. There's the pop band. They're the biggest like K-pop band in the whole world, and they're doing it because you can't live in Korea and be a draft dodger. It's just like that's not gonna work.
Listen, I'm not even saying I begin to understand the significance of it, but I just, I want to watch Tom Kim play golf. It's
pretty sick. It's like Elvis shit. Like their biggest stars are going into the military, and they're like taking pictures in military gear. It's like that's pretty fucking awesome for their country. You know what I mean? Like, how prideful that is. It's iconic. Like,
it's iconic.
But then you could get like that other golfer who then he's just, I'm never playing golf again. It's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Imagine the pictures of our greatest athletes like just had to go like, sir. I mean, that's what happened in World War II, right? In World War One, like baseball players.
Muhammad Ali was like, I'm not doing
it. He just like didn't do it. And yeah, it was fucking nuts. It's just, I mean, it's a different time. Luckily for us, we're not living in that time, but other countries are still living in that time.
Yeah. It is wild to
Man,
think
I,
about.
I hope
Wild
Tom
to
Kim
think
doesn't have to go into the military.
We got a couple videos people need to be on their radar. We've got Barstool Golf with Trent Daddy. That came
Great.
out yesterday, if you're listening to this right now. So go check that out.
Cocky Trent.
Yeah, I started the last 4 or 5 holes. I decided to run an experiment and just pretend that I'm really good at golf and like be like, yeah, I'm gonna put this 9-iron right next to the hole and I'm gonna make par on this hole because I said it in the
was
video,
hilarious.
but I was like, what? Because it's a complete flip of who I am. I'm scared all the time on a golf course, not even joking. Like when I'm over the ball, I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, and I'm just terrified. What if I mentally tell myself, you're really good, you're going to do great, and you're going to make a par on this hole? The results are very interesting, I will say. Very interesting.
All right. So people got to remember when was it VJ Singh who won all those FedEx Cup events and he was just telling everyone every time he was asked, like, I'm the best putter in the world. And they were like, no, the stats are like, you're not, putting has been like a real hindrance for your game over your career. It's like, I'm the best putter in the world. I'm the best putter in the world. And then he just was sick and won like 2 FedEx Cup events and won the whole thing. That was you, Trent Daddy, out there. Confident, cocky Trent.
It kind of works. Like, and when I say kind of, I mean really. Like, I'm not going to spoil all of it, but at one point I was like, I'm going to take this 9-iron, I'm going to put it right next to the stick. Bang. And that was it. It goes a long way. If you have the courage to just say, I'm really good at golf and everything that I do out here is going to be spectacular, might help you.
I mean, it's Dr. Brett McCabe shit. Like, if you have any sort of doubt, if doubt starts to creep in, it actually affects your golf swing. You start to decel, you start to lean off of it. Like, if you have confidence and aggressiveness towards, I'm going to do this, you're going to go through it. It actually helps the form of your swing. You understand that? Like, it's like if you do a little bit of this at the end, you're not going to hit the shot. If you're like, I'm going to fucking do it, and I go right through, and your rotation is there, and all of your weight's getting to your front foot because you're like, I'm going to fucking come through this thing, I'm going to hit onto the green. You just become a better golfer. There is so much in people's games that they don't realize is mental, and that's why they're not playing well. There's so much.
And listen, if you say, I'm going to be the best golfer in the world today, and you chunk one, the world doesn't end. You just go to the ball again and you hit it again. It's like, the worst that can happen is you don't hit a good one. But if you can keep telling yourself, I'm really good, I really think it would change a lot of people. I don't want to get into the manifestation world because I know that can get into some deep water.
No, but everyone should take a little bit of what you're saying. And we did this with Fixing Frankie, where it's like, just try it. Go out there and call out your shot. Everyone that's listening to this show and you're going to go golf this weekend, call out your shot on the first tee. Be like, this is what I'm trying to do. Say it out loud. Say it to your partner. Say whoever's out there on the tee with you. Be like, I'm going to do this, and see if it works. Like, call it out. I'm trying to hit a draw off the left tree. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm going to smoke this thing. I'm taking a 5-wood. I'm going to launch this thing over the tree. Talk it out and see what happens. That's what Trent did, and it fucking worked.
Yeah.
It did.
And then the other video series we got is you guys. We had a whole cast of characters. You guys and a couple other great characters went to some places that I didn't even know existed in the RV series, to some golf courses that the Instagram footage alone looked insane. And I believe on Wednesday, we're going to start rolling that series out.
Yeah, this is coming out tomorrow. This is a big one. Trent Daddy, myself, Jersey Jerry, and Francis, a couple of our guys behind the scenes. We all went, Brendan Jones, we all went to, we picked up Jersey Jerry from his house, and then we went to Silvis, Illinois.
We're in an RV.
Yep, we rented an RV. We had a driver. It was an unbelievable time. We went through just the Midwest. We went from Iowa to Omaha to South Dakota to North Dakota, and we hit places that we'll probably never ever see again. And we hit the best golf courses in each town from what was available. The only one that I feel like we didn't really have set was in Omaha because it was a Monday and a lot of courses were closed. And the course that we ended up going to was phenomenal. Like one of the best local country clubs that I've ever seen. Just completely awesome spot. And then, yeah, man, I mean, the footage is nuts. We were with a couple of crazy people. Francis and Jerry just keep us on our toes. And it was great. So that first episode is coming from TPC Deer Run, which is just a huge episode for Trent Ryan. We played ball in hole, just straight up just to see where our games were at. And then the rest of the series, we do team aspects just to keep the competition going. And it got really competitive, like really unbelievably competitive towards the end. So It's a great series. It's a little bit different. I think people are going to be like, what the fuck's going on in some of it? It's definitely different, but so worth watching.
It's a little more like vloggy.
It's everything, man. It's just like the RV aspect, like the restaurants, just like everything is just, it's so different. It's so different. And then like Francis just brings a whole new element with like, yeah, you guys will see. It's so different. It's great.
Good old Francis. He always brings a different element. So yeah, that's coming out Wednesday. So we'll be rolling through that series. Summer is all about freedom to have fun, but you do not have to blow your budget, go on some crazy trip to make the most out of it. We're talking tequilacation. You can forget a vacation and you can take a tequilacation at any time with the new Truly Tequila Sodas, official sponsor of the Barstool Classic. They've got the refreshing blend of real fruit juice from concentrate, sparkling water, premium tequila blanco. It's our drink of the summer. People have been loving these at the Barstool Classic all summer long.
It's a game changer. It's a real game changer. Not to say that the other ones weren't good, but every time they keep reintroducing a new drink, it's the talk of the Classic. They're like, I can't believe I've been coming to the Classic for 3-4 years. This is the best one yet. We're having a time of our lives. It tastes so good. We're able to drink them all day long. They're having a great time. And it's really, really a refreshing, tasty, delicious beverage. It really is.
Try all 4 refreshing flavors: lime, pineapple, guava, grapefruit, and watermelon, all with 5% ABV and just 100 calories. So you can take a tequilacation with the new Truly Tequila Soda today. That is the new Truly Tequila Soda. Try them today. Keep it light. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Please drink responsibly. And then I just got back from my Bandon trip. I can't give enough of a shout out to that place. It's very cool bringing, we had 12 of us total. It's all my brother and our best friends from high school and middle school from St. Louis. 10, my brother and I had been there before. 10 of them had never been there before. And watching people witness Bandon Dunes for the first time is just incredible. Watching them after hole, the third hole on Old McDonald, where you hit off the ghost tree and then you go over the hill, and that's their huge reveal where you see the entire golf course and the ocean. That was kind of the only first time we saw the ocean, like from that whole trip. So just endless kind of moments throughout the whole thing. I played a golf hole and it took me one shot. It was on Friday. It was probably right in the middle part of the trip where we could have used a pick-me-up just because we had gotten there. We had been there for like 2.5 days already drinking. And it was awesome. It was very exciting. And then the next day, probably my best buddy since like high school, one of my top 2 best buddies growing up, got an ace on the 16th hole at Sheep Ranch. And it was in this like intense wind. It was like the only day we had really where there was a lot of wind. 16th hole is at par 3 with the cliff all down the left. It's like a shared green with the third hole maybe. So gigantic green. It was 110 playing like 160 because it was straight into like a 25-30 mile an hour wind. He hit a 9-iron that just like 2-hopped and went right in. I didn't see it. We were in 2 groups behind. So then if you look back in 2021, same group, we went to Erin Hills. My buddy Pete, who I've known since 4th grade, got an ace on the 16th hole at Erin Hills when we got there. So it's been quite the results of holes in one, but it was a scene. I think there was a line to get into the bunker bar on Friday night at Bandon Dunes. It was just a scene out there. It was a great time. It was a great time.
So I think we got it. I have to ask, when you sent out the picture, this is a very important answer that you're about to give because I think it's going to give where your brain was at when you were sending this. When you put out the picture of the ball in the hole, when you didn't write exactly what happened, did you do that on purpose to like fuck with golf Twitter, or did you genuinely think? No. Let him answer the question, Dan, because this is very important. Was this a troll?
Frankie and I were talking about this weekend.
Was it a troll photo, or was it like I just achieved something that like TaylorMade should put on their Instagram?
We have probably had this discussion about holes that won on par 3 courses counting 10 different times on this podcast and how you approach that. So I was pretty aware of how that discussion has gone over the history of time.
No, but I'm saying when you just put the photo up of just all you did was put a ball in a hole and you wrote drinks on me at Bandon. Did you know that was going to be like, everyone was going to be like, oh my God, he made a hole in one. And then when the details came out that it wasn't at a full golf course, that it would just make the whole thing burn up in flames, or you weren't even thinking?
I didn't really care. I was like, that was what.
See, that's not the answer I wanted. I wanted it to be a troll so badly. Like,
But
you had to know what was going to happen, dude. Like, in this hole-in-one era, like, Bobby Fairways is getting one, Joey Colcutt is getting one. It's all over YouTube. Videos are getting millions of views, and then we're like, we got one, and everyone's like, holy fucking shit. Like, you know, we're like a YouTube like golf brand, like we're like a content creator brand. So like, if we get a hole in one, it should be like they should be hanging banners at fucking TaylorMade, and then where everyone's like, and then like it's the letdown of like, oh my God, it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like, but if you tried to do it to set the Twitter ablaze, then I'm just all for it. But I don't think that was the case.
I did it because it was awesome, and we just were like,
I know.
we were on.
You're not understanding what I'm saying?
I get it, but I think you're not understanding what I'm saying. We're like, I don't care if people were going like, we were in the peak trip of a lifetime out there with my brother and our buddies. We get to a hole in one. I'm opening the bar. We're all having a great time. I get that it was like, but you tweet it out, you look at it, it's controversial. I think I don't care if it's like controversial or people are losing their minds or going back and forth or whatever. Like, that was not in any way, like, I knew when I tweeted out and there was no context, I didn't write that it's like on a short course thing that people were going to look back and be like, oh, okay, it's not the same thing. But I don't care. Like, we just were like, fuck yeah. Like, we were going nuts with my brother and our buddies, everybody that's over on the first hole of the preserve are all going nuts. They're celebrating. People in the bar are like, let's go.
No, it's
we
definitely
heard
an
about
exciting
one. So it's like,
time.
we're
There's
all
no doubt
going
about
crazy and excited. And if people were sitting on their couch, like, bitching that they don't think the information was perfectly correct, like, we could not
but like people on the
care
couch,
less
like
about that.
we're like a content business. So the people on the couch, like, that's like who you're tweeting it, like, or else don't tweet it then, right? Like, if you don't care, like, why'd you even like put it out, right? Like, you're putting it out for people to be like, I did something fucking unbelievable. Foreplay as a brand just got a hole in one. TaylorMade's putting it on their Instagram. I'm texting people like, holy shit, was it on video? Like, we did it. We fucking did it. Millions of views. Let's go. And then everyone's like, fuck Foreplay. You guys are fucking losers because you didn't actually do it. And I'm like, that's a negative. If you don't give a fuck, then you don't give a fuck. But like, I don't know. It's just like
I'm not putting it out thinking of like, how many? We're not going to get the right view. Like,
yes, you are. That's why you put it out.
Trip, we got a hole in one. I'm like putting out a picture, being like, yeah.
Well, then who are you putting it out for? Then who are you putting it out for? Yourself? They put it on your fucking Tumblr.
It was on my personal Twitter. Like, it's on my Twitter account.
But we're like
putting it out. Like, why?
I don't know. Is anyone else
awesome.
gonna fucking help me here? I mean, come on. I'm on a fucking island. Anyone else have any takes?
Well, the only thing I was gonna say was I thought the controversial part was gonna be the reason I thought you were trolling is because of the way that the ball was in the hole. Because that's obviously like it is a hole in one, no doubt. But like, there's gonna be a subset of people who are like, oh, it's, you know, tap that in for a two. But like, I'm with Frankie where it's like, if you don't care, then like there is a part of you that definitely cares, but you had to know.
I find it hard to believe you posted it like you're just like a normal person who posted like, hey, look, I hit one in the hole. Like,
I'm not saying normal person.
It's like, at least you know the narrative. You knew how that was going to go.
In this era too, like, of how chaotic it is. It's like, this is like, it's so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me.
But like, if you know how it's going to go, like, I don't think for me being like, to look at it and be like, that was overall negative, I think is insane. It's like,
I'm just saying, like instead of, maybe not negative. It's a great thing for your personal game, and like, you guys had a bunch of drinks and it was fun. But like, I'm saying the text messages I got from like the golf world and people being like, "Is this guy serious?" It's like, it wasn't even like you knew that was going to happen. We've had these discussions. You got like a hole in one at a par 3. You have to have the conversation after it. And it's not real. It's like everyone was like, is this fucking guy kidding me? Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, he got a hole in one. Congratulations. It was like the opposite, which like when I did it at the Cradle, I put it on the Instagram at the Cradle at Pinehurst so that every comment's like, all right, like, this is going to have to be a discussion because I didn't want people to think I finally did it. Because it's such a sacred thing in our world. We are a golf brand. We put out videos every week to like show people how our games are going. They care. It matters to people.
I agree that matters to people. And I think that, like, you know, every person that we saw the rest of the weekend was like, Riggs, congratulations. That was awesome. Like, they didn't
always different.
care that it's, you know what I'm saying? So like, I guess when I say I don't care, it's like I don't care about all this stuff. Of course I care about all this stuff. I guess I'm saying I don't care and view it as like a negative thing that like it got the people going and people were talking about it and texting about it and disagreeing online. That's great. I don't really care. Like I don't care in terms of like, I don't view that as, oh man, I really hurt people and blew it. So I wish I wouldn't have done it that way. I'm like, oh yeah, I made one on a par 3. They're talking, they're arguing about it. Does the ball lean in? Does that count? Is a par 3
That
course
all's
count? Like,
great.
I don't.
That's
care
all
about
great.
that.
I love all
what I'm saying
that
is
stuff.
like, so if that's all people arguing and going nuts, then I just, in my head, I don't view that as a negative. When I
It's just
factor
the
all
first
of it in,
photo.
I was like, this is great for everybody. And then you find out hours later, because you're not really looking at your phone, reading through Twitter, you're just on a buddy's trip with your boys, that people were going nuts, arguing, battle. And I'm like, great, that's good. I don't think that's like
I thought
a negative
the joke
thing.
you made in our text message where you were like, of course, I'm the guy who makes one at the cradle and at Bandon. I think you put that in the tweet, then it makes way more sense.
That's like Riggs is being like that's funny. And it's like, all right, I get it. That's foreplay. Like we just can't fucking get one, but putting out drinks on me, ball in hole. We finally did it is fucking psychotic. And I will die on that hill. That's psychotic. I'm happy for you. Having a moment like that on a buddy's trip is awesome. If I fucking go to Big Cedar and I get one on that 19th hole at Payne's Valley, you sure as shit, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to fucking be running around. I might jump in the little fucking pond, but I'm going to let people know it wasn't the whole entire deal. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't it. Like it wasn't the thing. We didn't do the thing. Like I have to let people know. It's just, that's like that's what we do. Like that's our game, you know, like we post a guy that shoots 126. We don't fabricate anything. So the tweet almost looked like I did, like you did the thing. I just wish there was more context to it. And that's just my personal opinion. That's all I care about. That's all I cared about.
I get it. But I think I'm also a little bit like less sensitive to people talking shit or freaking out in comments than you are. And so for me, I'm like,
totally.
People are going nuts and the comments are back and forth like to me, that I guess when I said I don't care, I'm just saying like that stuff doesn't really bother me. In fact, a lot of that, like there were multiple times where my buddies came up to me and were like, yeah, we were looking through a couple of the stuff on there. Jesus, Twitter, those guys are losing their mind. And I remember us just being like, incredible, and cheersing to that and just going on with our day. So that's like, that was sort of our experience through it.
Yeah.
It wasn't some super calculated troll, but it also wasn't me trying to in real time be like, yeah, this just wasn't like that big of a deal. Like, of course, it was a big deal at the moment. It was awesome. It also, like, in the context of we talk about whether it's the Barstool Classic or your buddy's trip, like trying to care about something is very fun. So we're in this weekend where we care about every match. We're in an all-square match. My brother hit it to 1.5 feet on the other team. So we were going to lose the match, and then I made it to win the match 1-up, and we went crazy. We were like, no fucking way. We were going nuts. So
not taking anything away from the moment. I'm just saying for the brand total, just like when I'm watching everyone get involved in it and like TaylorMade's putting it up, it's just like, it's funny. It's funny that we are the brand that's just like making a big deal about the one that's not as big as the other ones. Like when I'm just thinking about it as a whole deal, and I just wish that was like the storyline, but it wasn't. And it is what it is. It's fine. You can't go back and change it. I'm also not I'm not judging how much fun you had on your buddy's trip. That's an amazing moment. That's something that you'll always remember. It's just, it was fun. It's classic us. It's just, we can't, sometimes it just doesn't hit right. It's just, something's just a little bit off center. And maybe that's the fucking juice. I don't know. Who knows?
It's definitely classic us, and I do think that's why I put that in the group checks. Of like, of course, it's like the Cradle and the Preserve at Bandon. Those are the two spots where I could get a hole one. So yeah, maybe that could have been communicated a little bit better. But I think like like I said, I'm a little less sensitive to how the communication of it was received. I wasn't that concerned about it, and it got people going. And there, maybe if it was with that little tagline of like, of course, I get them at the Cradle and at Bandon. But I mean, Frankie, I also look at it as like, how incredible is it that like. And again, we had this conversation with my pals while we're over many, many drinks and we're all having fun. Everybody's making a hole in one of like, pretty great. We're on like a vacation and on a little par 3 course having fun. And somehow that like blew up a bunch of golf Twitter circles and people are losing their mind. That's a little bit of like the juice. We've got that.
Totally.
Like,
I get it. We have
I guess that's kind of how I view it a little bit.
One of the comments on your thing was like, I think I flew a little too close to the sun today. And then one of the responses was didn't even tag me, and it goes, I assume this means hiring Dan Rappaport. And I was thinking to myself, like, some motherfucker like typed my name out and was like, yeah, made a connection. I was like, that's incredible. I love those people.
No,
I have
we
come
could
all the way
go
around,
back.
by the way. The people who repeatedly hate on me on Twitter, I love all of you so much. I want to give you all hugs. People who say, "Damn, so cringe, he's gonna get fired." I want to kiss you on the fucking lips.
It is what it is, man. I don't know.
Well, it's obviously different with a par 3 course, but I will now, and I think we should have instituted this rule a long time ago. You got to film every par 3. If you're out there playing with no cameras, you're just out there with your boys, you got to film a par 3. But I know it's different on a par 3 course. You're just out there.
Totally. It's like it's either you're doing it or you're not. So it's like that's why that picture was right in the middle, where it's like you're either filming it or you're having the buddies trip where you're all going to chill. And then it's like when you put out the picture, it's like, all right, well, now you're inviting the world to have their take on it, which is great. But then, like, to not give the context, that next tweet where everyone finds out it wasn't is where the negativity surrounds like what we're doing. And like, it's more of like, fuck that, as opposed to awesome. And it's like, it's a lot of just like, I don't know. It's just like, can you guys ever do anything like likable? Like, it's like, fuck, like, why aren't we fucking just getting the hole in one? Like, I want to cheers you instead of say, fuck you. That's all I'm saying. It's like the first moment was so big. I mean, I went nuts when I saw the picture. I literally called Brendan. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is insane. I was like, there's got to be something coming after this. It has to be. I'm like, this is it. This is the moment. We've been talking about this. We talked about it on the fucking RV trip. Like, if someone makes a hole in one, our year's made. It's over.
Totally. But I also, even if that would have been a hole in one on one of the main par 3 courses, it wouldn't have satisfied that because it wasn't on camera. We're not on a trip filming.
Right.
We're not on like a filming trip. So I don't know that would have changed anything from that standpoint. But, like in terms of people going nuts and celebrating, I'm glad people were, like, because that's what we were doing.
Yeah. No,
great.
yeah.
So it's like, but I get it. It's also like I hit a wedge, and like I believe Joey Colcutt's hit a wedge on his par 3 ace.
How far was it? What is the last hole at the preserve?
The hole, I think, is like 110 or something like that. So that's
pretty.
I mean, it's not the longest hole in the world.
Is big.
I get it.
Over 100 yards makes a difference.
110 is way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, if it was like 64 and you could like putt it, basically.
I mean, that's the one I got at the cradle was like 91 or something like that, like 87. It's just a tough number. It's like, did you putt it?
I know. And the one that I got, whatever it is, the second hole at the cradle that I've got before, like this one was way different just for us because that other one I got was like 71 yards and it was off a mat on the second hole at the cradle, whereas this is like, it's just, it was a little bit more of a full shot.
Dunking a ball from 110 yards for a hole in one to win a match is undoubtedly unbelievably cool, and I would lose my mind also. We're going in circles. It is what it is. It's just, you made waves. I mean, Twitter impressions, that's for sure.
Twitter impressions. We're good at that. So we've got plenty of that going on. We're great at that. Guys, when it comes to getting your hair cut, don't go just anywhere. Visit the specialists who live and breathe men's hair. At Sport Clips Haircut, stylists undergo special training to be the experts in men's hair, making them the masters of mullets, the finessers of fades, and the understudies of the undercut. These guys are great. They really are the experts in men's hair. They've got a great vibe in there. You can watch all kinds of stuff. Sport Clips is where we go, gentlemen.
Got to get your hair trimmed. I'm going to actually go to a Sport Clips today in preparation for my trip to Ireland. You got to tighten it up before a big vacation. That's like, it's an iconic way to start a vacation. Everyone knows they do it, right? Like, you just know that you got to get trimmed up. You can't go there with all frizzy, long, disgusting hair, and you got to trust the right guys to do it. So make sure you go to Sport Clips. They know what they're doing. They have all they know all the different types of hairstyles and fades and trims that you need.
They're the experts. They're the experts in men's hair. It's easy to have confidence in your look when you're in the hands of a pro. Just another way Sport Clips helps keep your head and your hair in the game. Sport Clips, it's a game changer. All right, Frankie's going to Ireland. The trip is finally here, I believe.
Yeah, I am going to Ireland. It's just, I'm not gonna I hope everything just goes like smoothly. There's something going on with this trip. The first time I tried to go, my dad had to have emergency heart surgery. Last night, my mom had to go to the hospital with stomach pain, diverticulitis. Like, she's on antibiotics now. She might even be able to have like a glass of wine on the trip. I got the call. My dad texted me this morning, call me. I was like, no way. I literally looked at Hannah. I was like, no way. Like, cancel the trip, man. Like, just fucking take the money. I don't know what's going on, but she's okay. She's doing good. It's like a flare up thing. I guess we have it in our family. So she's just like she was being very like cautious about it. And so, yeah, we're leave tomorrow. Hopefully everything goes smooth. They're so excited. It's their dream. It's my mom's dream to go to Ireland. I cannot wait to take her. I think we're actually not going to play a full round of golf. We're doing, which I'll probably get a hole in one. We're playing this like this little short course around this place, Ashford Castle, which I think Rory McIlroy got like married there, which is also, I guess, bad vibes or maybe good vibes now. He's back. I don't know.
Good.
I guess it's good vibes. So yeah, this place, Ashford Castle, is phenomenal, and there is a little golf course that goes around it. So yeah, I booked 9 holes for me and my dad. We got a motorized cart, which I know we're going to get a lot of looks, but I just want my dad to be like calm and chill and just like enjoying just 9 holes out there. I don't want him walking around the whole entire golf course. And I know that one of my buddies played in Ireland. If you take a motorized cart or a buggy, they're like, you're a fucking American loser. Like, you're not walking the golf course. You're taking fucking motorized vehicles across the course. But fuck it. I don't give a shit, man.
No, you shouldn't.
So yeah, we're excited, man. We're doing Dublin, Ashford Castle, and then Galway. About 7 days from east to west. Dan's been helping me with a lot of the history of Ireland. He's been sending me links. I've been reading up a lot of stuff. Just terrible, terrible stuff that happened to the Irish.
Famine?
Just bad,
The famine.
bad people.
Frankie and I were talking
Bad
a lot
people.
about the famine.
Well, it's just, and you said it best, where you're like, it wasn't that long ago. Like, great grandfathers were born during that time, if you think about it,
Yeah, it's
right? Like the
fucked up.
1850s, it's really not that long ago.
When you're over there, I wouldn't make that a main topic of conversation.
I know.
Yeah, tell me
I
about
got to
the
get that
famine.
out of my head.
That's I can already see you as soon as you get to like a beautiful Irish countryside and
Yeah.
your hosts are lovely and you're having the best time ever.
Yep.
And your mom she's got tears in her eyes. She's so
Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
She can't believe that she's finally going to Ireland with her son and her husband. And Frankie just says, "What about that famine you guys went
Yeah,
through?" And they're just like,
we'll
"Jesus."
We'll take a side of potatoes. Are those good now? Or it's just like,
We had
I'm
that
going to
issue
say
when
something.
when I went to Rwanda last year, right after the NV5 Invitational with my parents. My dad watched Hotel Rwanda on the flight over, and just kept on asking about the genocide, to the point where at one stage the tour guide had to look at him and be like, "It's not polite to ask."
Oh,
Like,
boy.
Because-
Yeah,
because
I mean,
those were like people killing people, and so you're basically asking like, "So were you Tutsi? Are you Hutu?" And it was just
Right.
like,
That's
we're all
really
Rwandan.
bad.
Like, you got to stop asking that question.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, and yeah, that was some dark, dark times. Like, just like the whole country kind of suffering of hunger. I can't even imagine how dark that got. 1 million people died over 7 years of no like clean food, no food really at all for these people. Is just, that's not a good way for your country to go out. Like, that's not, I can't even imagine how fucking nasty shit got back then. And it's something I can't even wrap my head around. So, I mean, I'm sure we'll learn a little bit about it. We're doing some tours and stuff, and we're going around when we go around Dublin and Galway. So I'm sure I'll get my history lesson, but I'm excited, man. Fuck. It's cool. Going to Ireland first time. Can't wait.
House of Dragon last night. Anybody watch that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got to give a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I'm
Spoiler
well
alert.
behind, so
People
I'm gonna mute.
Well,
a
we
little
won't
bit.
talk
People
about
will
it.
talk about it.
We don't
We
got
won't,
people
I won't
unhappy.
spoil anything. It sucked.
Yeah, people are just unhappy
Why
with
can't
it.
they figure it out?
My only thing, and we don't have to spend too long on it, I didn't realize that last night was the finale. Like, it was episode 8. I thought there were going to be 10 episodes. I just
it's a weird
assumed-
amount of episodes. Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
strange. So when I watched it, it ended. I watched it starting at 9, finished at like 10:15. I thought to myself, oh, they just set up the next 2 episodes are going to be incredible. Like, those scenes were awesome, and like everything's kind of coming together. And now it's going to hit a boiling point. And I went on Twitter to be like, oh, I wonder if people feel the same way that I feel. And they're like, that was one of the worst season finales I've ever seen. And then it switched my opinion because I can't believe that was a season finale. Because now we got to wait
Right.
2 years.
I have a question.
Please.
So, do you judge a show based off of the live viewing aspect, where each episode, how you feel leaving that episode and then waiting for the next one? Do you judge a show based off that, or do you judge a show based off episode 1 to the final episode, where, like, you don't understand what I'm saying? Because
I do,
if
yeah.
that is the case,
Yeah.
that build up finale actually would be a phenomenal episode leading up to the first episode of season 3, where you're like, that's unreal. Like, let's go. Like, if you're binging that in 10 years,
Yeah.
you're like, that fucking episode was incredible. And
Yeah.
now let's go. Let's go to the new season. We have a whole new season with new characters and like a whole new plot. And like, now we have all this stuff happening. Like, do you judge a show based off that? Because in a vacuum, that's a good episode, regardless of when you watch it.
Two things. As a guy watching it now in real time, I thought the season overall was pretty weak.
Yeah.
And they fucked us. Now I got to wait 2 years. I can only judge it as a guy who now has to wait 2 years. In 10 years, when it's on a streaming service and you can bang them out, go, there might be a different opinion. But as a guy right now with a weak season where a lot of table talking, not a ton of war, and
So
I get
much
that's
table
not all
talking.
Game of Thrones, but like Rook's Rest was kind of the only thing that you can take away from it. So an overall weak season, and then to fuck us with a finale where this thing again is probably not going to come out season 3 for 2 years. That is how I'm judging it currently.
Oh,
yeah. No, I wonder how, I guess my question's more for like, I wonder how the writers take it, where they say we have 8 episodes to build up this storyline and get people to care about new characters that they aren't Game of Thrones characters. We don't have 7 or 8 years to build these things up. It's, I guess in the books, they say it's a very quick thing. Like this dance between the Targaryens is a very quick battle in like the history of Game of Thrones, right? So they're trying to expand this into 3-4 seasons, whatever it might be. So I wonder how the writers feel. It's got to be kind of like a battle in the writers' room where it's like, hey, we have to give these people huge moments each week so that they come back next year, right? Like you want to give them something to take home, but the other writers are probably like, but we have to explain the whole story and like get people to care about why it's about to be a battle. And then they write out episodes. I don't know what the reasoning for that is. Did they not have the budget or whatever it might be? But fuck yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Right? They can determine the pacing of it.
They can.
Damon this season,
Too
he's
much.
been in a haunted house for 8 episodes, and it's like,
yeah.
this
Wild.
Did that
sucks
lead-
ass.
But did that all lead? Like, did they need to show how haunted it was to lead up to the point where he touches the thing and like
I don't know.
If that just happens, I know you're like, oh, what? There's like witches
Like,
in
I
this
felt
world
with-
now. Like,
I felt with old Game of Thrones, there were so many wheels in motion where there were like literally 5 to 7 storylines going on at once.
yeah,
In this show, there's 2. There's
Yeah.
what's going on between Alicent and Rhaenyra, which is obviously all of the stuff with their kids and Aemon and Aegon and that fucking weirdo Jace. Like that's one storyline. And then the other one is Daemon. So for those to be the only 2 things going on, you get bored.
right. Yeah, so Kristen Cole, like we didn't even see him for 3 episodes.
Right. In the old Game of Thrones, Arya was over here, Tyrion was over here, Cersei was over here, Robb Stark was over here, Snow
Yes.
was up top. Like you're like,
Dude,
where are we
and,
gonna go? Where are we gonna
like-
go? This one you jump between 2 things that aren't that interesting.
And
Yes,
you
that's
said
true.
like there's 2 storylines, and 2 of the main people like Rhaenyra was like on vacation for like 2 or 3 of the episodes. She was just like
Yeah.
she was just gone. You're like that's the
Yeah.
whole storyline is her.
Also-
like, what are we doing?
This is maybe a little bit of a spoiler, but we've been talking about it for a while now. Like they jump to these places faster than she just went to Harrenhal. And then twice this season, the 2 main protagonists have just met each other.
Yeah.
One goes to King's Landing, the other comes to Dragonstone, and it's like, what is happening?
I know. I think on Drag, I think they do show like on Dragon they can get pretty far pretty quick because you can tell on the one episode where he like goes to fly and like get the one dragon Aemon, and then he has to like turn around and he's like, oh, because you can kind of tell, you can almost see them in the distance, which was weird to me because in all of Game of Thrones, like when you're trying to wrap your head around how far these things are, it felt like it took years for like Jon Snow to get from snow to
Took like a
green
whole
grass.
season for Stannis
Oh,
to
right.
get wherever he was going.
Literally.
Dude, Tyrion was on a boat for a season and a half with
Right.
Jorah Mormont. It was like,
Right.
holy shit.
The people that were freaking out about the Secret Service with the Trump situation, they would not be happy with the Secret Service operation of King's Landing. Or I mean, the queens and they're just walking among the people at any given moment. At one point,
That was the
Rhaenyra
weirdest.
goes-
That was the weirdest scene in Game of Thrones history. They're like, we have to leave the castle, and they just brought them to the people that wanted to hurt them. Did you guys notice that?
Yep,
When-
wild.
Like when Alicent and the Queen Helena when they're like their knights came in and were like, we have to get you guys out of the castle. We have to bring you out. They just like brought them into the mob.
Yeah.
Why did they just stay in the castle? Is the castle not more protected? Why would you bring them to the street? That was fucking bizarre. They were getting like shit thrown at them.
It's like, why would you bring them in the
Also,
street?
they have just no defense. They have no defense because I just watched episode 3 last night, and they're talking about Harrenhal, and then Damon just shows up to Harrenhal on a dragon, and it's like Harrenhal's mine now.
Right.
So is the official stance they have no defense for the dragons? If a dragon comes,
don't know.
our castle's
There's
done.
something about Rhaenyra and Allison having face-to-face conversations that ruins all of it for me. Like I don't know, like they're the reason why all this is happening, and they can just like hang out for 20 minutes and then go their separate ways.
No, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They're kind of dropping the ball. I don't like to harp on it too much. I mean, like I know KFC likes to call it Game of Thrones dick riders. It's still good entertainment, and I know that the potential could be through the roof. But the potential of what? They're just giving us what the show is. Like we're in no position to be like, this is what it should be.
Dude.
We're watching the show that they made, and they're like, this is what the show is. I don't know what else to tell you. Like that episode is what the finale is. Like there is no battle. Like what are you guys talking about? Like this is just a show. Like it or don't. I don't know.
I'm kind of with you, but I mean, people are going to have their opinions, but like, also, I tweeted last night, like, I'm going to throw a fit for 2 years and then watch every episode of season 3.
Are you hitting the links this weekend? The pros are. You can be right there with them. Get in on all the tee to green action at DraftKings Sportsbook. We got the Wyndham Championship this weekend, and then we're right into playoff action. We're coming off a huge week of golf last week, which was a blast, fun to watch. We talk about it a lot on the show. From the first tee on Thursday through the final putt on Sunday, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. They've got same-game parlays. We know football's coming back. Preseason's around the corner. Live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Very easy also for first-timers to get started. You could simply bet on a golfer to just win if you want to keep it easy. And that's why we love DraftKings. They got a great app. If you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. We've got new customers. Just bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Select whichever winner you would like. Place your first bet. It's that simple. And new customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code FORE. That is the code FORE, F-O-R-E, for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings.
Delta tried to fuck me in the ass last night with I had to land in Connecticut and then like refuel.
Let me tell you something.
How do
Delta
you go
needs to
past
get its
New
footing.
York to go to Connecticut.
Delta needs
Delta's
to get its
been
footing.
going
I don't
down.
want to become
They've
the
been going
podcast that bitches about
bad.
flying.
No,
but
no, they
I
can't.
like, there was a point.
But I thought our
because I
sweet
went
Delta
to
was
Chicago.
exempt.
What?
I thought our sweet Delta was exempt. I thought they were on a
Dude,
different
it took me
plane.
10 hours to get home from Nashville yesterday.
Something
That's-
about
I
that
could've
outage
I
that
could've
happened
driven
like
home.
3 weeks ago has completely fried their system. I went out and filmed a video in Chicago a couple days ago, like middle of last week. At a certain point, a Delta was fucking me so bad that I thought I was just going to live in Chicago because I could not get back. I couldn't. But again, I don't want to be that podcast, but Delta needs to find their footing.
When I landed in a random airport in Connecticut and watched them refuel for an hour and a half, I really thought I was going to lose my mind. People started to get a little mouthy on the plane too.
Ooh.
Like things started to get a
Ooh.
little nasty. Like, and I was in the back seat. I was the last fucking seat on the plane because I had to get. They fucked me. I thought I changed my flight to 11 a.m. I didn't. And then I was on fucking standby. And then we were on this plane for like 7 hours coming from Nashville. And people started to get fucking yappy, man. Chatty passengers. Like just a bunch of Long Island people that just got done with a Nashville trip that were super hungover. And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like just like crazy, getting up, trying to walk off. At one point, the pilot had to say like a legal thing. Like I'm legally allowed. I legally have to tell you guys you can get off the plane right now. Okay. I hope that no one does, but like legally. All right. I got that all out there. Legally, you're allowed to get off the plane. It was nuts, man. It was nuts. Speaking of Nashville, we did 2 very successful Pup Punk shows this weekend. Just the most fun time ever. I mean, we went to Columbus, great town. I had been to Columbus once with Dave. We did pizza reviews. We did the college football show. And then we went to a Michigan Columbus game where Michigan got Ohio State game. Michigan got absolutely trounced that game. Who the fuck was the quarterback? Would it have been Poyer? Maybe for Ohio State. Maybe it was Poyer.
Might have been
A little trivia practice here.
Yeah, but anyway, I just remember like there was like 60 to fucking 20 Ohio State, and like Dave left at halftime. It was just, and I remember being inside the horseshoe, like this place is fucking nuts. I had Hannah with me, and we took scooters around Columbus. What a fine fucking city. I really enjoyed it. Just a great
Great
town.
golf in Columbus. Great golf.
Oh yeah.
Columbus also has, we did, I can't remember, we did this like analysis a couple years ago. We were potentially going to open something and like, we were looking at different like cities, towns, whatever around the country to potentially do that in. And Columbus was spit out as having like the best foreplay Barstool friendly demographic audience in the entire country. It was like if there was one place for us to be, it was like Columbus is the place.
Oh, I could totally see that. And there was no better example of that than we were at the hotel, really nice hotel, right in the middle of downtown Columbus. We played at this place, Scully's. The place fits like 350. We had like 600 people there. It was absolutely fucking sold out, packed to the brim, just a complete fire hazard. And we rocked the fuck out of this place. We played for an hour and 55 minutes nonstop. Oh yeah. And like, dude, there were times where I'm like, we finished our song and I looked at our set list and we had 2 left. And I'm like, Roan. And I started hitting the kick drum. I'm like, we gotta give him Seven Nation Army. I'm like, we gotta fucking give him Seven Nation Army. And I would just start hitting it. And then Roan went to the crowd like, oh. And they're jumping up and down. The whole place is fucking bouncing. Like we were just like throwing in songs just to keep the set going longer. And it was fucking awesome. Titus came out and sang My Friends Over You with Newfound Glory. It was great. Titus is a fucking superstar there. You play for any Ohio State team and they're like, he did the OHIO thing. I thought my ears were going to fall out of my head. It was nuts. Yeah, it was fun. And so, dude, we were at this hotel and everyone's like standing outside. You come off the show and it's like such a high. You have such an adrenaline rush. Like you're playing music for all these people and you can't believe it. We were taking a tour bus to Nashville the next day. We just felt like rock stars. It was so cool. Like we're all sitting around, we're getting drinks. We went to this cool bar that Dante has affiliation with, Goodnight John Boy. It was awesome. And then we're sitting outside this hotel. And like, you know, like Robbie Fox is sitting across, probably smoking like a cigarette, being real cool. And we're all standing outside and we see this kid walk out of this hotel because our hotel was also a club. And all these like young, like 25-year-old, 30-year-old people are walking out of it. And he tries to go through those revolving doors and he just like couldn't figure out that it was locked. And he's just basically resorts to the fact that he's just going to lean up against it. And just like, he just gave up. There's a door to the right, but he's just like, I can't get out. And I'm just going to live inside this hotel now. And we were all laughing at him. And we're like, go to the door right here. And he kind of stumbles out and he gets his eyes. He like scratches his eyes and he looks around and he's like, Roan? He's like, Robbie Fox? He's like, what the fuck's happening right now? And then his name was Wes. And then he looks to the right and I'm standing there and he's like, no way. He's like, I listened to he showed me his phone. He has every single Foreplay episode with like the green line all the way to the end of it since episode 1. He's listened to every single Foreplay episode that has ever been made. I don't know how many, Alex Bush, how many episodes are we at right now? I mean, what's the number? It's got to be, I don't even want to, is that close to the pin? I mean, I don't even know what that number could be.
Do you want the number?
Yeah.
687 is this episode.
687 episodes of like close to 2 hours an episode, 2 times a week. That's fucking nuts. So he looks at me and he's like going nuts. He goes, where's your wife, Hannah? He's like, that's Hannah. I always know your name. And now I'm seeing you. He's like hugging her. He's like, it was crazy. He's just like the biggest fan ever. So it's funny that you said that because I remember like walking around after and I'm like, this is just like I feel like we're in one big Barstool town. You might as well rename Columbus Barstool. It was nuts. I don't know how we don't have like a bar there. That's how crazy that place is.
I was blown away, speaking of just the fans and how amazing. I was blown away at how many gravy comments I saw both on the podcast last week and on the video.
Dude, so I thought there was going to
be
many.
I thought there was going to be like 2 or 3 comments.
There was like 400 gravy comments. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Dude,
yes.
I mean, that Barzy video has like 600 comments on it. And I think before we did the gravy thing, it had like 145 or some shit like that.
Wow.
Oh, it's gravy. It's nonstop gravy. So whoever wrote gravy on the Barzal video, that means you're listening, which is incredible.
Shout out to
and
you.
You're watching. That video is so fucking funny. There are parts of that video that Barzal really, really makes me laugh. When I go, when I'm like, I've been collecting pencils recently. I'm like, I grab pencils from I'm like, I should get a pencil from here because he goes, you collect what? I'm like, pencils. He goes, sweet hobby, bro. He's like, the way he said sweet hobby, he goes, sweet hobby, collecting your pencils. And he just kind of got out of the cart and like took his fucking wedge and just walked away. And I'm like sitting there like, fuck, man, I'm so uncool. It's so crazy how not cool I am.
Well, he's so hot.
Yeah,
There
really hot.
are accounts of women with thousands of followers that it's like Barzal Brazil, and it has like 10,000 followers, and they just post TikToks of like kind of like an EDM song, and every single beat change it's another version of him.
Amazing.
And it's just like he's walking around, and comments are all like waterfalls and just like puddles on the ground. It's nuts. Like he goes TikTok viral in like this weird like girls obsessed with a hot guy realm, and it's nuts, man. This one had like
Mhm.
180 had 180 quote tweets. This one like gif of him going oh when he misses a putt.
Wow.
It's nuts, dude.
Yeah,
Imagine.
man. There's like a whole different world. It's a whole different world.
And then you go look our following. It's like 97.5% each guy.
Can they make a fucking
male.
all one? They're like going nuts.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I will in every one of those videos. I'm cut out of them. You see my like skinny arm on the side of them.
That's good editing.
And-
That's good editing.
Yeah, it's just like
that.
it's like boom, 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 and I'm just like moving around. You can see like the side of my head at one point.
All protein bars generally taste the same, but not One bars. One made protein bars actually delicious with Reese's and Hershey's. I know you guys have these. You've been rocking these in a bunch of videos. I've got them right over here in my pantry and my fridge. They are absolutely delicious.
I eat one of these things a day. 4:00. I eat lunch at noon. I don't eat dinner until 7:38. I need something in between there. I need it. It's great to have something that tastes really good, fills you up, and that's my 4:00 snack every single day.
Yeah, they got the cookies and cream, and then they have the Reese's flavor. It is really, really good. I mean, even Matt Barzal in the video, who is like the pinnacle of health, he's an absolute stud. He had one. He's like, wow. He looked at it. He's like, holy shit. You know, it's got only 3 grams of sugar, and it's got all that protein in it. It's a great snack. It just makes you, it fills you up and makes you feel like you got something in you, and it gives you that energy to continue. It's the perfect encore snack, and it really is. Fill up your bag with it, and make sure you have it in your golf bag. Make sure you remember that it's in there so it's not getting fucking melted. Put it in those little coolers that they have on the golf carts, and you will be so happy you have them on there.
18 grams of protein in there. Only 3 grams of sugar. Only one Hershey's CNC protein bar is made with Hershey's cookie bits. Try new one Reese's peanut butter lovers protein bar and one Hershey's cookies in cream. They're delicious. So trust me, trust us. Great for the golf course, like Frankie said. Go try these. The one protein bars, they are delicious.
I got this email from like one of the, I guess, sales or data or like social people at Barstool asking for my breakdown. Did you guys get this on your?
No.
I guess they're like trying to sell. They're doing this new thing where they're trying to like sell individual. They can sell individual accounts in addition to just like the bigger foreplay accounts. So they asked for like, if you go to your Instagram page and you click on like insights, you can see a breakdown of here are the ages of your followers and here are. So my Instagram was 94.5 to 5.5, which I thought, okay, you know, that's kind of big. My TikTok, 88% to 12%. I got 12% female following on TikTok.
Easy now, Sinatra.
Got a little, you know,
Wow.
a little bit of a diversity in the TikTok following.
It's nice.
That is nice. I guess that's probably TikTok is probably I don't know, it's everybody now, but probably feels like more females are on that app, probably, right?
It's definitely a little bit more like my Instagram. Basically, I learned is like more than half of my followers are males between the age of 25 and 34 in the United States.
Yeah,
and TikTok was much more different.
I'm at 90.9% men, 9% women on Instagram.
That's good. That's really good. I think that's probably like back in the Dave days. There's probably
Probably.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
You go to your
94
insights
and a
and
half.
hit total followers, and then go to the bottom. I mean, Trent's got to be. Let's guess Trent's. I bet you
Trent's probably high teens, maybe more.
I'm gonna say 86-14, maybe even more.
Smiling.
I'm
He's
changing
smiling.
mine.
It's more.
I'm changing mine.
It's more.
80. I'm going 83.5, 16.5. Did I do that right?
That's pretty much exactly what it is.
83.5.
It's 83-17, basically.
Wow.
Wait, I
That's
got
good.
a really
bad.
funny stat for you guys. So
Please.
lifetime female on YouTube, 2.6%. Last 28 days since Barzal, 10.9%.
Oh,
Yeah. 5x, baby.
Insane.
Are you kidding me?
Welcome, ladies.
Woo! Shit.
incredible.
I started
There's probably
blushing.
one woman who's like, "Oh, I like this foreplay brand." They're listening to this podcast. They turned it off after 3 minutes.
Dude, we got an 8% bump in all women for the Barzal video.
We got to start putting
What?
Brendan Jones in front of the cameras. What we
Oh
got?
my God.
That's great.
That's unbelievable. What a stat. Wait, is that on the whole channel, or can you check, Alex, of how many women watched that particular Barzal video?
That's on the whole channel. Here, I'll do that right now.
Oh my God. Dude, the Barzal video has to be over 10%. Has to be. That would be insane.
I love we're going nuts over 10%. It's like a
Oh,
huge
yeah. Of course. Dude, it's
Well, I
Dude
mean,
Fest, man.
10x increase.
I will say, Pup Punk is Dude Fest, but there's a lot of females out there to go see a show. It's fun. It's fun to just see everyone just kind of going nuts. Because usually if a guy's going to a show, he's going to bring a girl with her. And yeah, it's great. They go nuts when PFT shreds. They're fucking screaming.
It's actually
incredible.
only 5% for the video. So
Oh, so
maybe
they're
the
checking
last
everything
28
out.
days. Yeah,
Frank
they're
the
checking
Tank?
everything out.
That's
Frank
great.
Frank the Tank.
Bringing in the ladies.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Wow.
That's a nice boost. It's a really nice
That is
boost.
a nice boost. You know what I'm going to do,
Um,
guys? If you guys don't mind, I'm going to take a shot at this basketball. If I can
Okay.
find this basketball hoop. If I can find
Oh,
it.
for whatever the number is, it's an
Hang
over.
on now. I've had it in my hand.
Oh, he lost the
I
basket.
got it. I got it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm 0 for what now?
Over, whatever it is.
0 for 4,
Four.
maybe?
4.
I have a whole spreadsheet.
All right, here we go.
Yes!
I didn't
I
make
missed.
it. I missed it.
Oh.
I missed it.
Oh.
I missed it. It went deep, and then it got wedged in between the fucking rim and the
Oh, it
backboard.
looks like
on the,
it went
on,
in from here.
on the far
In.
side. No, that's a miss. That's a miss.
Roll the tapes. That looked like it
That
went
was
in
a
for
miss.
all the world to see.
Dude, there's like a foam part on the base of the backboard, I guess, so that when it hits against the wall, it's not so hard. And it actually got wedged in between the foam part and the other side of the rim for like a second.
What a hole-in-one abandoned preserve moment that was.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
We're
See, I
fired
was
up.
honest with everyone. I said, listen, it didn't go in. I didn't want to troll everyone. Just kidding.
That looked good from here. All right. Anybody got anything else?
No, actually, I don't really got much. Nashville's great. Barstool, Nashville's a great bar. Make sure you go check that out.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but I think Brendan Jones might be getting on an airplane next week to come to California. We'll see if it actually happens.
Oh, very
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, that's
good.
That'd be really nice. We're working on some things next week. I'll believe it when I see it.
Fantastic.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Look at that.
I love that.
Yep. I'd love
Very
to see
nice.
that.
Make sure you go watch tomorrow. We got that RV series. I think it's coming out Wednesday. Let us know what you think. We definitely did a way different style than we usually do. There's things in there that we took risks on, and I hope that you guys like the change. It's just a different. I think a lot of golf videos are very carbon copy right now, where it's
Mhm.
like you go out there, you have a couple drinks, you just play a match, and then you just win. This is like, I don't know, it's just a little more thought out. There's like more comedic value to like what Francis brings and shit like that. So it's cool. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment on there. Maybe we can write. You want to say something else? Maybe instead of
Not a
gravy.
bad idea.
I kind of like gravy.
Yeah, we'll just keep the gravy train rolling.
Keep the gravy train rolling.
Gravy train.
Say
Choo
gravy
choo.
train.
If you're watching because you watch and listen to this podcast, comment gravy on that video.
Or gravy train. I like gravy
I like
train.
gravy
All right,
train.
gravy train.
Gravy train. Or
Yeah,
ride the gravy train.
Gravy
now.
train.
Gravy train.
Gravy train.
I'm here to ride the gravy train.
Like you watched this one too. You saw this one too.
Yeah, great. Yeah, shout out gravy train.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you to our partners. We'll be back on Thursday. I think we've got a great guest coming in for Thursday. Fingers crossed. You never want to, jinx it, but I think we got an awesome guest for Thursday's show. So tune back in. We'll see you then. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.